In this video, I'm going to show you how to establish and advertise the link to a Google Meet for your Google Classroom. You'll start in each individual Google Classroom. In this case, I'm in block 2 of my tech class. If you aren't using this convention, now would be a great time to update this. Block, subject area, last name of the teacher. You'll start in each class by clicking on the settings gear. And this you can see is where you can easily change that class name. I'm going to scroll down to this new section in the settings of each Google Classroom called Meet. You'll get a URL. If you don't see one already, you might have to click here. You can reset or copy this link. I'm going to reset just to show you that it creates a new URL. And I'm going to go ahead and copy that for pasting later. And then visible to students, you want that to be on. When I save this and go back out into my class, you can see that now under my class name, I see a Meet link. And this is for me and for students to click on. It will open up the Google Meet that I share with this particular Block 2 class. I'm going to show you one more thing inside of Google Classroom. I'm going to go back into the gear. I've done this as 2 separate steps. You can do it all at once inside the settings. This section area, whatever you type in here, will also appear out in the heading. It must be inside the section box. Anything else, class description, room, subject, will not appear in the heading, but this section does. So inside this section, you can put information like when your check-ins are, and what time your advisory is. And you'll see what that looks like when I click Save. Now my students from the heading have all the information they need to get to our Meet sessions. They know that on Monday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock, they can go to a Meet, and on Friday there's advisory at 9:15, and they can get to all of those by clicking on this link. One of the keys to using this link is that it will not work for students until you are in the Meet. So if they just click on this randomly, if I were a student and I just clicked on this, this is what a student would see. So this is good for you to know for 2 reasons. One, it's comforting that they cannot get into the Meet without you. But it also lets you know that when they email you and say, hey, I tried to get into the Meet and it said that there was a problem, this is most likely what they're seeing. It's not that there's actually a problem. It's that the Meet is not open yet. And so they're getting this error page. So until you log into the Meet, this is what the students see. On the other side of that coin, I want to give you a heads up that when you reach this page, you are officially in the Meet as far as Google is concerned. So if you get here, Google thinks you are in the Meet, and if a student clicks in, they can enter the Meet. So they'll see this screen, they'll be able to click Join Now, and they'll be in, even though you are not there. You may have walked away from your computer, gone to bed, who knows. But if you have reached this screen, you have started the Meet, and students can enter. So if you're not ready to start the Meet, don't even go into that screen. Once you do start the Meet, you're there, the students come, you have a wonderful class session or advisory. Make sure all the other students leave and that you are the last person in the Meet. And then if you can hang out in the Meet for another minute or 2, that will sort of allow Google to catch up and say, okay, this Meet is over, and Google will re-lock the Meet so that no students can get in again until you return. This link will stay active throughout the time this class exists, and so you can keep going back to this Meet over and over again, and the students should be locked out of it when you are not there. If you are also using Google Calendar, I've already copied this, so I don't need to copy it again, but I'm going to show you how to put this into a Google Calendar event, whether it's a current event that already exists or an event that you would like to create. But let's say you want your students to be able to enter a meet. I'm just going to push out so that I have a slightly quieter week here. Let's say I want to create an event, or I already have an event and I want to update it with my new Google Meet link. First, you'll want to have your Google Classroom calendars already over in My Calendars. If you don't, the easiest way to create them is to actually go over to, I believe it's in, oh, there it is in Classwork. So you can see here's the Google Calendar button. If you don't see your calendar over under My Calendars, you might have to click on this, and you can see when I do it, it brings me into this class calendar. If you don't yet have a class calendar, when you click on that same button, this will ask you if you want to create a class calendar for this Google Classroom. But either way, once I get over to the class, I can create an event. I'm just going to create it by clicking into the calendar. I can't remember what days I said my meet was, but I think it was at 10 o'clock. Let's say it was Monday and Wednesday. So at 10 o'clock, I create my calendar event. What I want to do here, I do not want to click on Add Google Meet Video Conferencing. I already have the Google Meet video conference set up through Google Classroom. What I want to do instead is go into Location. So I'm going to click on Add Rooms or Location, and then I'm going to choose Add Location. And right here, I'm going to paste that Meet URL that's distinct to that Google class that I was in. I, of course, also want to give this a title and whatever else I want to do here. I do want to also make sure that this is going to my own calendar. I want to make sure that it's going to my TwoTech Murphy calendar. And now when I save it, I'll show you why we did those steps. This is the event I just created. Now when I click on this, or when students click on it, they will get under location. See, this icon shows the location field, and this is where I pasted that meet. Now this is a clickable link that will take the students directly to that Block 2 check-in for Google Classroom.